Hello friends, welcome to Magic Story Time channel. This is a story about Cinderella. Get ready to dive into the magical world of a kind and beautiful girl who dreams of a better life. Let's begin our adventure. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a kind and beautiful girl named Cinderella. She lived with her wicked stepmother and two stepsisters who treated her very poorly. Cinderella's stepmother demanded, Cinderella, have you finished cleaning the kitchen? Cinderella cheerfully said, Almost done, stepmother. I will get to it right away. And her stepsister added, Don't forget to polish my shoes. While the other giggled, Yes, and iron my dress. Despite the cruel treatment, Cinderella remained kind and gentle. She dreamed of a better life but never lost hope. One day, a royal messenger arrived in the village announcing, hear ye, by the royal decree, all eligible maidens in the kingdom are invited to a grand ball at the palace tomorrow night. The prince will choose his bride. Cinderella's heart leaped with joy. She wanted to go to the ball, but she knew her stepmother would never allow it. Her stepsisters were ecstatic. We must find the perfect dresses, one exclaimed, and the best shoes, the other added. But their stepmother, with a smirk, turned to Cinderella and said, You will help your stepsisters prepare for the ball. You will not be going. Cinderella was heartbroken, but she continued to work hard, hoping for a miracle. Little did Cinderella know her life was about to change in the most magical way. Cinderella worked tirelessly, helping her stepsisters get ready for the ball. She wished she could go too, but she had no dress, no shoes, and no way to go there. Cinderella thinks, I wish I could go to the ball. As Cinderella wept, a magical light filled the room, and her fairy godmother appeared. Why are you crying, my dear? Asked the fairy godmother. Cinderella replied, I want to go to the ball, but I have nothing to wear and no way to get there. The fairy godmother smiled and said, Dry your tears, Cinderella. With a little magic, you shall go to the ball. She waved her wand, and magical things began to happen. Cinderella's rags turned into a beautiful gown, a pumpkin outside transformed into a golden carriage, and mice turned into horses. But Cinderella still worried, I still have no shoes. The fairy godmother smiled again, waved her wand, and a pair of glass slippers appeared on Cinderella's feet. Remember, she said, my magic will only last until midnight. You must leave the ball before the clock strikes 12. Cinderella nodded and said, I will, I promise. With a grateful heart, she climbed into the carriage and set off for the ball. Cinderella was on her way to the most magical night of her life. Cinderella arrived at the royal palace, her heart filled with excitement and wonder. She had never seen anything so grand and beautiful. Cinderella walks into the grand ballroom. The guests gasp at her beauty. The prince, standing at the center, is captivated. The prince couldn't take his eyes off Cinderella. He walked towards her and, with a kind smile, offered his hand. They began to dance gracefully across the ballroom, captivating everyone. "You're the most beautiful person I've ever seen," said the prince softly. "May I know your name?" But Cinderella only smiled and replied, "I'm afraid I cannot say." They danced and talked, and Cinderella felt like she was in a dream. But as the clock struck midnight, she remembered the fairy godmother's warning. Cinderella hears the clock striking 12. She gasps and pulls away from the prince. "I must go," she exclaimed, pulling away from the prince and running out of the palace, leaving behind a single glass slipper. The next day, the prince orders a search throughout the kingdom using the glass slipper to find the mysterious girl. The prince was determined to find her. He and his servants went from house to house searching for the girl whose foot would fit the slipper. Finally, the prince arrived at Cinderella's home. Her stepsisters tried on the slipper, but it did not fit. The prince asked, "Is there anyone else in the house?" Hesitantly, the stepmother mentioned, "Just our servant girl." The prince insisted Cinderella try on the slipper. To everyone's amazement, it fit perfectly. "It's you!" the prince exclaimed. "Will you come with me to the palace?" Cinderella, with a smile, replied, "Yes, with all my heart." The prince takes Cinderella's hand and they ride off to the palace together. And so, Cinderella and the prince lived happily ever after. Cinderella's kindness and courage led her to a life of happiness and love. This tale reminds us that no matter how tough things may seem, staying true to yourself and believing in the magic of hope can make all your dreams come true. We hope you enjoyed this magical journey with Cinderella. Stay tuned for more enchanting stories and adventures. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Magic Storytime channel so you never miss a story. See you next time.